All right, Shalom. So, Brother Kashpala coming back at you with another lesson, giving all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai, Bashim Akakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, the room and teach well. Peace, love, salutation to the 1144 first fruit. All right, so this is going to be another lesson in Revelation, the 6th chapter. Pretty much going to do a breakdown of Revelation 6 and 4. You can watch the last lesson. I did a breakdown on Revelation 6 and 2. So pretty much in that lesson, I read Revelation 6, 1 and 2. I did a small little overview of verse 1 and fully broke down verse 2. You can go watch that if you would like. It's probably like 2-3 videos ago. And today, this one's going to be Revelation 6, primarily focusing on 4, but I will read 3 too, not too much to break down on verse 3. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the second seal. Revelation 6 and 3, it says, and when he had opened the second seal, I heard the second beast say, come and see. So this is kind of synonymous to verse 1. When you read the scripts, you have to use context clues. Well, yeah, you do have to use context clues, but the subject matter is already mentioned when you read above. So it says, and when he opened. So the subject matter in this point of what, and when he had opened, that is speaking about verse 1, the Lamb. And we got the clarification of what the Lamb is, which is Yahweh Shai. So when it says, and when he opened, that's saying when Yahweh Shai opened the second seal. It says, I heard the second beast say, come and see. Now let's continue to verse 4. And it says, and there went out another horse that was red. And I'm going to read it thoroughly through, and then I'm going to go back and break it down. So Revelation 6 and 4, it says, and there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword. All right, so let's go back. It says, and there went out another horse that was red. All right, so there's an indication right there. If you do your biblical studying, you should understand the word that should pop out in that first part, which of course is that red. Okay, all right, which simply putting, that red represents the Edomites in their military might and their power. But just simply put, to keep things extremely simplistic, red equals Esau if you're writing notes. All right, and we're going to prove that red equals Esau by going ahead and going back to the beginning, which is Genesis. Okay, Genesis 25 and 30. Yeah, I started Genesis 25 and 29, and Jacob sawed pottage. Sodding is like boiling. It says, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint. And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red, okay, pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom. Now, and we know what that name Edom means. In the Hebrew, it's Adawam, which means red. Okay, so when you go back to Revelation, the last, it's ironic that you get the answer from the last going to the first. All right, so how we know that the red in Genesis 6 and 4 is by, in Revelation 6 and 4 is by simply getting Genesis 25 and 30, where Esau got his name, Edom, okay, which is Adawam in the Hebrew, which equals red. All right, so let's continue. All right, it says, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth. Right, so taking peace from the earth. Let's keep reading. It says, and that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. So right, so let's just go ahead and start by with the peace on the earth. So and power was given to him. All right, so this was given. Okay, the Lord blessed every nation that has came about. All right, so we got to go back to Genesis again, the beginning, to get the answer to what's going to happen at the end. All right. So this is Genesis 27. You already know I'm going to Esau's blessing. So it says Genesis 27:38, and this was after Jacob Yaquab, which means supplanted him. He Yaquabbed him. He says, verse 38, he says, and Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? And he was speaking to Isaac in this sense. It says, bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. So he was crying to his father after he was supplanted by Jacob, but his tears were in vain because he's the one who gave the birthright to Jacob in the first place, whether he was supplanted or not. He willingly gave it up. Okay, so it's clearly and evident that he didn't care about the blessing, but all of a sudden now he's trying to fight to get it back. But it's too late. All right, everything is set in stone. The books have been written, or more better analogy, the books have been closed. Okay, so this is Genesis 27:39. It says, and Isaac, his father, answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth. Right, so this is we're going into his blessing. It says, in the dew of heaven from above. Right, so that is true. Okay, we're seeing his blessing in full effect. All right, in full effect. It's gonna his blessing is gonna hit its climactic stage when Yahushua enters into this realm. That's gonna be the pinnacle of his blessing. All right, so we haven't seen the full ferocity of the blessing of Esau yet. So stay tuned, because that's what's about to come. That's where we're going to start witnessing, and a lot of 2/3 are going to start experiencing, because there's a difference between witnessing something and actually experiencing something. The ones who the Lord is going to protect are going to witness Jacob's trouble and witness the climatic end in the full potential of Esau's blessing, which we're reading here today, and 2/3 are actually going to experience it by going through the death and the bloodshed, the famine and the disease and massacre and everything of that nature. So again, Genesis 27:39, and Isaac his father answered, said unto him, behold, thy dwelling should be the fatness of the earth, which we're going to get Habakkuk 2:5. And it says, and of the dew of heaven from above. So let's keep going to verse 40. Okay. It says, and by thy sword shall thou live. Yes, exactly. So that goes back to what it was saying here. It says at the end of verse 4, Revelation 6:4, and there was given unto him a great sword. Right. Again, the word given is there. All right. So Esau was given a great sword. He was given power. Okay. And this power and sword that he was given was the blessing coming from the beginning. All right, all this was pre-designated to him by the Lord all the way back in Genesis. Okay, and now it is blossoming. We're seeing Esau's blessing blossom. All right, we saw the Moabites, Ammonites, the Ishmaelites. We saw all their blessings, the Hamites. We've seen their blessings prosper. Now we're watching Esau's blessing prosper. And then the last to prosper, of course, is the Israelites. But let's just stick to the point. It says, and shall serve thy brother, right? Okay. Shall serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion, which he has the dominion now. So this is an indication that this part of the blessing has already came to pass. When thou shalt have dominion, so he has it now, thou shalt break that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck, right? Because at one point, we what they call the Dark Ages, we did have Esau in a particular slavery, you could say, but he broke the yoke off his neck, and ended up coming to where we at now. You can go into some history, Oliver Cromwell, things of that nature. Go and search up the Cavaliers, okay, things of that nature, okay. Those are around the time frame he broke the yoke off his neck. Okay, so verse 40, in a sense, has already happened. Okay, that's why we're in the predicament that we're in today. So let's go back to Revelation 6:4. So it says, and there went out another horse, which we understand that word horse is a representation of power. That was red. So the power of Esau started. Okay? It says, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth. So let's go ahead and deal more with that by going to Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter. All right, Habakkuk 2 and 5. It says, yeah, also because he transgressed by wine. Again, we're using he, which you could say is like a pronoun. All right, that he is, we're talking about Esau, all right, or Edomites, the nation of Edom. All right, transgress meaning breaking of the law. And it says by wine. So he broke the law by his wine, which is his philosophy. His philosophy in a sense of by pushing his ideology and his religion and all sorts of madness on all the nations of the earth. So when you break that down, it says, yeah, also because he, Esau, broke the law by spreading a false philosophy throughout all the nations. That's why when you read Jeremiah, the 51st chapter, it says they drunk of the wine and now they're mad. Just loosely paraphrasing. Was that Jeremiah 51:7, something like that? Right. So it says, he is a proud man. Yes, he is a proud man. And we understand what the book of Proverbs says about pride. In a proud man, pride goeth before destruction. So we understand his destruction and his demise is at hand. It says, neither keepeth at home who enlarges his desire as hell. Exactly. Hell meaning the grave. So neither keepeth at home. Right. That also means he's always on the move. All right. And he's all over the planet. In another sense, since we are speaking, because I did mention it earlier, that red is Esau and is a representation of his military power as well. Okay? So look at his military. Esau has bases everywhere spread thin around the earth. His military spread thin around the earth, but he does have full control because his blessing was, okay, let's go back to his blessing. So verse 20, Genesis 27, his blessing was that his dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth. So we're experiencing him actually enlarging his desires, which is the fatness of the earth. That's his blessing. But it says as hell, in as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gather unto him all nations. Exactly. So he gathered to him all nations, but it's as death and is as hell, meaning, prime example, the most blatant, obvious things that he's done. He did to the tribe of Gad and Reuben when he came over to the North Americas, when he came over and what he did to the northern tribe, the Issacharites, the Zebulonites, Naphtali, all of that. Okay, when he came over and destroyed the Aztecs and the Mayans and things of that nature, you know what I'm saying? He enlarged his desire as hell. Okay, that's what that is speaking about. All right, and it says, and heapeth unto him all people. Exactly. When it speaks about heapeth, that means it's greed. All right, when you cook in usually the directions say, a quarter of this, a pint of that, whatever. But when the directions say, and add a heap of whatever, that means there is no measurement, just as much as you want. Okay. All right, you don't have to top it off, you could say. All right, so that he heapeth unto him all people, which he's greedy. That's why when you read Revelation, the 18th chapter, it says, in the souls of men. All right, he took it all in. And another way he's going to be greedy and take it all in is the Internet of Things, which we're going into. Okay, the MOTB. He wants everything. All right, verse 6, it says, shall not all these meaning all these nations that he's been heaped up to himself, take a parable against him and a taunting proverb against him and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. Exactly. They want to destroy this Edomite. It says, how long? And to him that layeth himself up with thick clay, which is the debt. It goes into the debt that he accumulates. Okay. So back to Revelation 6. And 4, and this is pretty much the end of the lesson, it says, and there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another, right? And there was given unto him a great sword, and that great sword is literally the blessing that he got, okay? Where Isaac told him, by the sword thou shalt live, but also it goes into these missiles that he has, tanks, guns, whatever ammunition, instruments of killing. All right, he's mastered that's his blessing. So he's mastered that blessing. That's why we don't get too we don't you shouldn't get too much into guns and things of that nature, because that's not our blessing. Okay, we're spiritual people. These are carnal people. Okay, the Edomites. So that's pretty much it for Revelation 6 and 4. Lord willing, it was edifying. Like I said, you can go to my previous lesson, and I did pretty much Revelation 6, 1 and 2. And then you can combine these two lessons, and then that, you got verses 1 through 4 now. And Lord willing, I'll go through, do probably like 2 by 2, because it's kind of separated 2 by 2, and break down the rest of the chapter if the Lord permits. So again, Lord willing, it's edifying, giving all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Chakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, the rule and teach well. Peace up, salutation to the elect 144 first fruit. Brother Kashan Kwala, like always, shalom and repent, for Yahweh Shai is coming back sooner than what me and you believed. Shalom.